halftime, I think you held them as a team under 30% shooting, forced 8 turnovers. Defensively, what was this like to kind of work together as a team with guys that are still getting to know each other?
Yeah. Credit to the players for staying with the game plan, just sticking with it. They made a lot of shots early, and they continue to make a lot in the third quarter too. But we just knew that we just had to stick with the game plan, weather the storm, and just stay with it. We just knew it was about the little things, winning some closeouts, so we was able to do that. And once we did that, our defense took care of itself.
You've played in a lot of different roles. You mentioned in training camp, being in so many different positions, and then tonight get a larger opportunity and role here as well. How do you navigate all of that as a young player and a rookie with already a lot being thrown at you?
For me, it's not like uncharted waters. Like, this some things that I've done like in my whole career. Like, I've been in games in college when I've played point guard, and then someone checks in and I move to the 5, and then someone checks in and I move to the 3. So, the Thunder brought that player in, So, like, for me, it's just things that I've already done. But, it's just kind of been a testimony to kind of my whole career so far to this point. So, but, the coach has done a good job of, like, telling me what I need to do and, like, keeping me coached up because they do a really good job. So I just do what they tell me to do.
Was that something that you all talked about in the pre-draft process of, like, hey, I'm kind of used to this?
I'll probably say, nah, not really. It wasn't necessarily about like what I'm used to. It's just more about like, just things that I could continue to do to get better, and obviously just the interest that they had in me.
Mark mentioned how they play a different style of basketball. How beneficial is it for you to go against a team that plays a different style that you're going to see in the NBA?
It's actually very beneficial, and obviously for me, being a new pro, you just want to get a taste of like everything. And, they did some stuff that was outside the box, some things normally you wouldn't see on the NBA floor, but it was good for us and obviously good for everybody on the court to get that experience because you never know where you may be.
You had a good stat line. What did you like about your game tonight?
I don't know what my stat line was.
23 points, 13 rebounds. But overall, what did you like about your game?
I think I just made the right play. I just did what the game presented to me. I didn't like come out and it was like, oh, everyone's not playing. Like, it's my time to shine. I didn't like approach it like that. I just kind of took what the game gave me. It was, the position that I was in today. Our team is so deep and so talented that it can be like anybody's night. So when everyone's, sitting on the back-to-back of the preseason game, it was just my opportunity and I was just ready for it. But it shows a real signal of the strength that we have as a team because it could have been anybody tonight.
You got your first taste of 3 games in 4 nights in the NBA. Kind of what led up to this? Like, how are you prepared yourself to handle this?
I think I love the competition. In college, one thing I struggled with was only playing on Thursdays and Saturdays. Like, that was like one of the hardest things for me. I want to play more, and being here, that's not an issue. You're gonna play enough. So I don't complain about it. I always just try to keep that perspective because that's really the main thing.
Dillon, Mark was saying in training camp that you guys have had conversations about you using your strength, your frames, which is kind of unique. I just wondered, like, could you expand on those conversations, what your plans are to, as far as like playing away and stuff like that, and maybe the responses you've seen from defenses with your frame?
I think it's just about trying to play the game on my terms where it's beneficial for me. It's going to be quicker players, faster players, whatever you want to say at times. But, one thing that I have is physical strength, and that's something where I should have the leg up on a lot of people where I play, even being a rookie. So I just try to leverage the game in that way, how many ever chances I can. And, when it comes to like playing weight and all that is, talking to the performance staff and all that is just a process. We'll learn. Like, I'm still learning myself. I'm only 22, so it's still a lot of things I got to learn about how I feel better at. And you just got to get the reps at it. So I'm just still doing that now.
I'm going to ask you about just the way that you guys adapted during the game defensively. It seemed like the second half you all had a really good grip on what they were trying to do and were able to hold them down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess New Zealand coming from the NBL plays a different style of basketball than we're probably used to in the NBA here. So, it's not always going to happen immediately. And you can tell it probably took us a half to kind of figure out how they play offensively and defensively. And we kind of figured it out, and second half was good.
The group that was out there, the 8 guys, I mean, you haven't had a ton of time together. Tell me what kind of maybe teamwork and collaboration it takes to actually figure that out on the fly the way that you did.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, we've only kind of just got used to each other playing wise and even knowing each other. So you can able to adapt on the fly, but we've had a good month now all together, and we're all good basketball players. You kind of adapt pretty quickly when you're in that environment.
Coach gave you a lot of credit for being able to catch up pretty quickly after not being able to participate in summer league. What has this process been like for you, learning everything so far?
It's been amazing. I mean, I've been trying to be a sponge, taking as much information as I can and relay that on the court. So it hasn't always been easy, but the support from the guys and the coaching staff has been incredible, and they've really kind of gave me that push that I needed after missing summer league. So yeah, it's been great.
What's a game like today for you? I mean, you get extended minutes, you get a big opportunity. Just what was your kind of approach?
Just to get better. It's only preseason, and I'm only early in my rookie career. So I mean, it's just to get better every night. It was good to play against some familiar faces and a league that I watched growing up. So but yeah, just trying to get better every night and work on little things.
Guys are always talking about Dillon, the questions he asks, how curious he is. I just wondered, like, your relationship with him and what he's been like as a teammate.
Yeah, you hit it nail on the head right there. You kind of asked a lot of questions, and every player is kind of different in the way they learn. I kind of sit back a little bit and watch a little bit more and kind of can pick it up myself. But some players like to ask questions, and credit to him. I mean, he's been doing really well, and that's just the way he learns, and each their own, I guess.
What do you think of Mark's coaching style so far?
I loved it. Yeah, it's a lot different from what I came through at college. But yeah, so far under Mark, it's been awesome. He really kind of gives you freedom to play within your playing style, and me as a shooter, he constantly tells me to keep shooting the ball, keep shooting the ball, keep shooting the ball. So to hear that as a player from your coach is really positive.
In the second half, your guys, I think, held them under 30% shooting field and 8 turnovers, something like that. What did it say about the group, young, inexperienced, being able to kind of learn in-game like that and make adjustments and preferences?
Yeah, New Zealand, that's a different style of play than we're used to. Great pace on offense, and then defensively a lot of pressure up the floor. So it took a little time for us to get used to the game. But we did a really good job coming out at halftime, especially defensively, as you mentioned, just winning closeouts and not giving them the advantages that we gave them in the first half. That's really where a lot of their damage came from. So great adjustments by the guys and great effort, toughness in the second half.
There's a play in the second half by Ooze where he drives it, kind of gets stymied, gets back, drives it again, gets hacked on, still makes a pass in the corner. Just your thoughts on maybe his determination and some of the physicality intensity he showed.
Yeah, I thought he was good tonight. I thought he was good, especially second half defensively. I thought Dillon was really good tonight. I thought those guys brought a physical presence. Flagler, busted his lip, came back in the game. I thought everybody, really competed. But I thought, Oos has really made a lot of strides. He came in as the youngest player, I think, in the draft, and has made continuous progress as he's been here. So continues to do a nice job.
Mark, what have you made of Malafide and home-court awareness and just him kind of knowing when to be at times?
Yeah, he's a really unique player. Really good player. I mean, very effective. He impacts the game almost immediately. Great defender. Great length. Great body awareness, and then on offense, good feel for how to play. Big time offensive rebounder. He keeps a lot of balls alive with his length and his activity. He's been very impressive, in his minutes and in his time in camp and in town. So excited to have him in the program.
Just what have you seen as far as him trying to learn his spots at this level?
Well, I mean, it's obviously different tonight with the guys we had out, so he was playing a little bit of a different role, but that's okay. He's showed his aggressiveness. He showed how multi-dimensional he is as an offensive player. I thought he was really physical defensively. I thought he was a little more disciplined tonight than he was last night. So continues to show some things. And again, as I've mentioned before, it's a longer view with those guys, and he's got a lot to improve on and a long road ahead of him. But he's definitely got a great competitive spirit, plays inside the team and really competes.
Just with Dillon, I think we talked about his frame before. How are you seeing him use his frame now? How are you maybe seeing defenses respond to the way he uses his frame?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly, when he punches gaps and gets downhill, he's got he's not only a strong-bodied guy, but he's got the strongest hands. I mean, he's got incredibly strong hands. You just see when he comes up with the ball and rebounds and loose balls, the one he stripped across from our bench tonight. And as he drives, he can like put his head down, take contact, really punch gaps, but he maintains control of the ball. So great physical tools. Now it's just a matter of, sharpening his fundamentals and learning the system and learning the league and all that. But he's got a lot to work with.
How beneficial from a coaching standpoint is to play a different type of basketball, play against a different type of basketball?
Yeah, I mean, you just see the, cognitive adaptability of the team. Like it was a different feeling out there tonight with the pressure up the floor that they provided. And like I said, the way they play on offense is it's European style. And so it took a minute for us to kind of catch up to. And then the guys, settled into the game well, into the second quarter and certainly into the second half.
Do you take any of that and try to apply it to you guys?
No, I just learning the team and learning the players and their, ability to, like I said, grow kind of inside of a game. It's one thing to watch the film the next day, but it's quite another to do it in real time. And I thought the team kind of caught up to the game tonight and eventually, really figured it out. Did a really nice job.
You've brought a number of guys over from Australia and the NBL. I just would love to know, I guess, what you make of the league and the strengths of it sort of facing it tonight.
Yeah, it's a great league. I mean, when I coached in the G League, a lot of players from the G League ended up over there. Cotton, one of the best players over there for years, was a G League player. I coached against him. And so I have great respect for the league, and the players come in prepared. They've played against professionals. They've been coached. There's a physicality to that league. There's a precision to the way that they execute. It's high-level basketball and good preparation for the NBA.
What about Alex with you guys as a prospect over the next few years? What do you make of his game?
Yeah, I mean, we're still learning him as we are with all the new players, but he's got a fearlessness about him with how he shoots the ball, but he's got a complete game as well. He's not just a shooter. He found a really good cut tonight. He's in the right spots defensively. He's very verbal and vocal, has a great spirit to him inside the team, so has made a really good impression to start. Despite not playing Summer League, he was hurt during Summer League, and I thought that set back his trajectory a little bit early, and he's caught up nicely. He's doing a nice job.
You wanted to see the system at work with this group tonight in particular. What were your observations particularly in the offensive end of this group?
Yeah, I thought offensively we were pretty good, both halves. We had 60 points at halftime, despite the fact that it took us a minute to calibrate. And then, I thought we really got on track defensively. The first half defense, we were just kind of frantic and behind the ball and loose on our closeouts and, just loose altogether. And then the fact that we were able to course correct, as well as we were in the second half, shows us that we've kind of established some habits. And even though we weren't on them in the first half, we were able to get the car on the road there.
Obviously, you do have kind of the hands you were dealt with the schedule, but what do you make of playing 3 games in 4 nights, having a layoff, and playing some more preseason to kind of implement whatever you're working on for the regular season?
Yeah, it's what we had to do, but it gives us, we'll have good practice time over the weekend here, and then we'll have 2 games, and then we'll have a good stretch of practice time again. So it's good to play some games and kind of figure out what you got, and then go back to practice and tighten the screws, and then play some. There's a method to the scheduling of it, and it served us well. So we just got to keep taking it a day at a time and getting better with every practice or game that we have here before we head into the season.